Today in Robert's Guitar Dungeon, we are shooting out boss pedals, the Waza Craft edition of the Metal Zone, and the ML-2 metal core. Yeah, after I did the demo, after I did a couple of demos actually of the new Waza Craft Metal Zone distortion pedal, which if you follow my channel for the last couple of months, you know I'm absolutely in love with this thing. I had a number of viewers that have asked me to shoot it out against various other boss pedals. Now, we've already done the shootout with the original Metal Zone. That one was really kind of what sparked, I'm assuming, what sparked interest among viewers to hear it against some other high-gain boss distortion pedals. But this is, the metal core is one that, again, viewers have asked me to compare in a shootout environment with the Waza Craft Metal Zone. Now, if you're not familiar with the Boss metal core pedal, this one is not quite as widely known, even though it has been out for a long time now. This pedal came out back in the 2000s, right around the, as the name suggests, right around the metalcore movement, what I would be called the beginning of the modern metal era. Guitars, everybody was tuned way down, the chugga-chugga, the chugga-chugga riffs at blazing high speeds, really tight, really tight, scooped out kind of metal tones. That's kind of the inspiration behind this pedal. So I have had this bass pretty much since it came out, and I actually did have it on my board for a while once upon a time when I was playing in a band that required that kind of gain. Of course, this one didn't exist yet. I did quit using it because I need more mid-range, and that has always kind of been the drawback with this pedal is, the metal core just, there's no mid control on it, and it's even in its default setting, there's some mids, but in my in my experience, to cut through a mix, it just wasn't enough, at least for me. So that's why I don't really use it much anymore, but like most of my pedals, I do keep it on the shelf just in case something like this happens to arise. So let's put them down side by side and twist a few knobs and compare them and see what we think of them side to side after we hear them together. So there you have it, the MT-2w Waza Craft edition of the Metal Zone versus the ML-2 Metal Core distortion pedal. Side by side, now you can say you have heard them side by side, and of course, form your own opinions. My opinions of the Metal Core distortion, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, no mid scoop. If they, no mid control rather. If they had a way to, if they would re-release this thing with a mid control on it where you could boost the mids, I would use this thing quite a bit. But unfortunately, it's not on there. So you got high and you got low, and the thing that I noticed is the farther up you turn those, when you turn those controls up, it'll bring up a few of the mid frequencies, but the ones right in the middle, it doesn't touch. At that point, then you're kind of forced to bring, if you're going to turn up the level and the treble and the bass, then you got to turn up the level a little bit to try and boost up the mids a little bit to get them to match, but then you boost everything else up as well. And if you need mids, you're probably going to need an EQ pedal to go with this thing of some kind, such as the Boss GE7. But beyond that, the distortion on it is actually, it's really got a lot of bottom end, really tight, tight sounding, modern kind of distortion. So nowadays, that's what everybody wants. So compared to the Waza Craft edition of the Metal Zone, now you guys already know how I feel about this pedal. Like I said, I fell in love with it the moment that I got it. This pedal was, by the way, a gift from a viewer. A very loyal viewer by the name of Alan Scherer, and I'm very, very grateful for that because I've already gotten a lot of use out of this. I performed most of the demo with the Waza Craft Metal Zone in the custom mode, and just because that happens to be my favorite. I did flip it over to the standard mode just for kicks. If you're not familiar with what those two modes are, the standard mode essentially is an analog circuit version of the original Metal Zone circuit. So, you can hear, and I encourage you to go back and watch the original demo of this pedal, because when you hear the standard version, you can hear those elements of that original Metal Zone circuit in the standard mode of this guy. The custom mode, on the other hand, is, I'm not entirely sure what the inspiration behind it was or what it was modeled after, but in my opinion, it sounds just like a high gain tube amplifier. And, that's really primarily where I leave it. So, the components in the Waza Craft are just, everything about the Waza Craft line of pedals, they're just superior. Nothing wrong with these. I'm a huge Boss fanboy. I love Boss pedals. Nothing wrong with the standard line of Boss pedals. But Waza Craft essentially is Boss's custom shop, and it shows in every way possible. If you have not already, please consider hitting the subscribe button to this channel, as well as the alert icon right next to it so you do not miss out on future content of this channel. Drop me a comment down below in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts on either one of these pedals. Last but not least, please feel free to check out the links in the description, as links to all of the gear used in this video will be down there. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.